Damn, it looked like a bomb went off, Ivan.
Yeah.
You know, we got to go get the, before we get too carried away here, we're going to have to get the transit.
There's a lot of things that go into building this fence. First phase is this surveying, you know, and trying to identify exactly where this fence is going to go with some of the old boundary lines that my grandfather surveyed all those years ago.
You ought to get your, you ought to get the old transit.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Right?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
We're actually getting out the old family transit and sighting these lines as accurately as possible, so we really know that the fence is exactly where it needs to be.
This is an old piece of equipment here. My dad gave this to me years ago, and it's he had it for years, and he got it from an old surveyor that supposedly surveyed the Yesteryear tunnel. There was some really wonderful times that I remember going through the woods trying to find our property lines with my dad, and those all came flashing back to me, and they were all good times. Isn't that a beauty? Screws onto the top of this tripod now, and we gotta level it all up. This is a very precision piece of equipment. Nothing like the modern stuff of today where they have GPS and all this fancy stuff. This stuff was built in the day where people needed to know what they were doing. In this day of technology, it's really grounding, and it's really an incredible anchor to be using an instrument that has spanned the generations. Still has the literature in it. Convertible level. Here's all the parts lists of it. Got a compass that goes on this thing. Very good. I'm gonna try to sight through here now. Ivan's trying to get me a sight line up there. Yeah, howdy. I can see the bag. It's a very emotional thing to look through something that old that I got from my dad at my son through the scope far away, and at that moment time just flashes through your mind. Just this kind of this emotional moment there. East 4! Mark! Go on down to the next one. We need to get this fence line on exactly the property line. So Ivan had to go up there and make sure all those rebar markers are all in the correct place. East about a foot. That'll work, perfect. Now I'm finally lined up from one monument to the other, and this is going to be the straight shot here.
Okay, that's it, we're done.
That's it.
Let's lay some fence.
You know, someday Finley can pull out that old piece of equipment that will then be his great-grandfather's and show him how it's still in the family and still cared for, and it's still an incredible tool to use when you're out doing this type of work.
Okay.